Okay, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our 18th, did I say, Ricardo, 18th?
Yeah,
webinar?
you're right, you're right.
In our Coach Development webinar series. Delighted to have Dani Gordo Rios with us today from Spain, who's been previously working with the Brazilian national team and now that in the Azabal League. Dani will give an introduction to himself in a second, but just a couple of housekeeping things as usual. If you can keep your microphones on mute throughout the presentation, it would be great. In terms of questions, feel free to put them in the chat box as usual, but we won't be asking questions until Dani's finished his presentation. So we hope that's okay. In terms of recordings, the webinar will be recorded and shared as usual, so no need to ask about that. And then the final thing in terms of security, if you just make sure if your device appears to be taken over and hacked, then you try to exit the meeting as possible, and we'll do our best to abort the webinar if we are overridden and hacked ourselves. So without further ado, I will pass over to Dani, who's going to start his presentation on offensive tactics. Thank you, Dani.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much to England Federation, to Ricardo for inviting me to share my knowledge with yours. I hope that I can explain the main ideas about what part of the game, a specific part of the game, that is the second action. I call the second action, we call here in Spain the second action, the part of the game in offense game when we play after the fall. So I am trying to explain what happened.
Yes, ciao, registrowali audio, ja ne znam sad.
Hold on a second.
I've done it.
You done it, yeah?
Yeah.
I try to explain what kind of game we can play after this fall. Usually, it's common to say teams, European team, the Champions League team, playing 2 against 2 after the fall. But I'm going to explain that we can do more things, train more things, more ways to create more possibilities, a creative game in our teams. So I'm gonna start. I am trying to propose some methodological proposal. I try to explain for me, this is the most important part of the lecture, the most common tactical intention that we play in Champions League. I'm gonna present some data, some dates for me, and some conclusions. The study that I did is from this season. I watched 12 matches from Champions League, and I study what happened in these matches after the fall, what kind of game play the teams, and I take some conclusion, and it's the idea of this lecture. I hope that you can take some idea and you can implement in your teams. So this is a draw of what happened in these 12 matches from Champions League in this league. Like you say, the main action of the offense game is 65%. The second action, this is the goal of my lecture, is 22%, and passive game is 13%. Of course, we train and we coach a lot about main action. We coach and train a lot about passive game. Mostly of the teams who play in the high level have 2-3 actions for the passive game. Everybody has 3, 4, 10 actions for the main action. But what happened between this main action and the passive game? I try to show you in a video what is for us the second action. Fall in the middle of the court after the main action, and
Dani, we can't see the video.
why?
Uh,
Sorry, yes, I have to share. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Maybe I have to share.
yes, you probably have to share the video and then go back to the presentation.
Yeah, I try to do that. Now
Yeah.
you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's gonna take time. Takes time this because I don't know why the links doesn't work.
No problem.
Fall in the middle of the court and the right wing go inside, and then we play 2-2 with the pivot. It's one of the solutions that we can do in this second action. Okay, this second action, like I told you, is after the main action that we play in the offense game, and we solution now. Our solution is playing 2-2. We will talk later, and we can use different ways to solution this second action. So like I told you, the second play or the second action is for the part of the positional offense game that exists after the fall and before change the phase. Some coaches said also passive game is part of this second action, this second play. The principle of this second action are the same that the positional attack. Width, deep, occupation of free space, nothing new for this action. But we can take advantage of possible residual advantage of the main action. What that mean? We can use, like you saw in the last video, move without the ball or block second lines to surprise or maybe to create false actions. Sometimes the structure deficit is not the usual. Because the other team don't change, don't have time enough to change. So we can take advantage with the second action about this situation. Another thing that we can take advantage about this is reiteration in faults. What does that mean? The fault is not allowed in our sport. So if we punish the defense game with the faults, sometimes we're gonna get 2 minutes exclusion or something like that. And another advantage that we can take with the second actions is try to take advantage of the disorder sometimes of the defense game. Sometimes this phase of the game usually I miss with another phase, like I told you before. This action theoretical is not the attack don't have advantage on the defense. We have studies here in Spain that in the first action attack offense game have 48% of possibility to score the goal, but when the defense team make a foul, this success is lower. So for offense team is not good take a fall from in this phase, no. So another advantage that we have in this phase with the second action is we can take advantage of the speed and rhythms. Of course, we start from the static phase, but we can change the speed and rhythm. So it's just, for us, is a good advantage. Then we can show it in the videos. It's much better. And another advantage that we have here is that we can use the place of the core that we want, because we start from zero. And this is good for shooters because they are gonna take the right place of the core to don't have any player who block the shoot. No, this phase also is a phase that you can use. You can see creative relationship between 2 and 3 players, like freestyle. I'm gonna try to put this video. Let me know if you see.
Oh, you're going to have to do the same.
Okie dokie. Now you can see here is a fall, and now again the right wing go inside. After this amazing 1-against-1, the right wing go outside again and get 1-3 for the left wing, score easy. But this is a relationship between three players. Three players. Okay, this is one of the main things that I'm gonna explain. This situation of second action are really common in always that one win is inside and in defense 6-0, and then is gonna the defense and the defense team make a fall. When the wins are inside, normally are a situation of second action that you can see easy. Falls before defense 5-1, all depends where is the defender number one. The offense game use the fall to take advantage. Depends of where he's doing the defender number one, and it also is really common in falls when we play without goalkeeper, 6 seconds without goalkeeper, or at the end of the match. I wanna try to. Number 9. Now you see here is a winning side. And now there is a fall. We play second action. Bomb back, show his finger. So they are gonna play one action that they are gonna do like this. They play 2-2 because the middle defender go outside, so they can play with the line player, but the other one help and the ball is not works. But this is like I told you, this is one of the common action that we play second action. This wing come back and returns to his place. In this action, like I told you before, he's trying to surprise. They do a false movement and come back to open the space to Cañellas, go inside in this space. Maqueda in this action, like I told you, prefer to play 2-2. Another action, like you can see, now you can see defense 5-1 after the fall, and we are gonna use second action with some tactical idea. The line player tried to block the first defender and try to get one advantage because this guy is so big. The number 33 is too small. So now we have one advantage to play this 2-2. And now the middle back with top quality trick both players and go inside. But the main idea that I gonna explain is we use the fall, we use the second action to get one advantage, put one big player with one small player. This is too difficult to defend for this guy. He wins the space with bound the ball wide and trick with is one of the common action to play this second action. Let's see more options. Like I told you, these examples, I take it from 12 games from Champions League, and I take this conclusion. For me, this is the most important part of the lecture, and this is my conclusion about these ideas. When we play after the fall, we can play for throw at the distance. What does that mean? I try to show you. Throw to the distance, shooting from the distance. They are now Karachi is playing the main action. Fall against Rogerio.
We can't see it, Dani. You need to share the video again.
No, we. Now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. 1 against 1, Karadzic. And now Kilche is gonna play second action. The main idea, the intentional, tactical intention is trying to play for shoot from outside. Like I told you before, Kilche take the right place, players of Kilche take the right place of the court. And now you can see he's gonna shoot, he have chance to shoot because there is a block from one of the defenders against one of the defenders of Veszprém. He has one hand up to show to the shooter that he is gonna be free, and Dusevayev also is ready to move without the ball. Like you see, it's a movement to try to shoot from outside. This guy go forward a lot to stop this shooter, and they made a new possibility to score with the line player. Another possibility, 2 against 2 with block, with a screen to this guy shoot again. Same idea, we can take advantage from the fall to these spaces to don't be close to the defense. He is so far away from the defense because he came from a static game. Screen, and now 1 against 1 with 2 minute exclusion. And the last one. Is almost the same idea, block to make a screen to the defenders can go forward, and now he has a chance to shoot from, maybe he's too close, maybe he has to be one step back, but the idea is the same. The idea is the same. One hand in the line player and move without the ball, the line player to get this ball and score. So from the fall, we can get one tactical intention who is try to shoot from outside. Another idea is, you can see?
Yes, play 2v2.
Okay. Play 2 against 2 in different places to punish. I said to punish. I mean, the meaning of punish is try to put a line player with a small player who is different to take advantage to 7 meters or 2 minutes. But the tactical idea could be something like that. I put the video. Sorry.
No problem. You're just going to have to share it again as you've been doing.
Okay.
Yes, that's good.
Main action, 1 against 1, and the first defender in the middle, hold, and we start again. 2 against 2, open the space with, again, bound the ball with white side, and the line player is forward, the defender 2 minutes and 7 meters. This is, for us, is punish the defense. You can see this action in many teams from Spain, from Portugal, from Champions League teams. Another idea. Now left wing is inside. Open the core because we have this advantage in this phase of game. Open the core with this number 22 close to the line, and now we are gonna open this space between 2 and 3 defenders with bound the ball, open the space again, and we have the same situation. Line player, forward, the defender, and this is the same situation. Goal, 7 meters, exclusion, maybe red card. The end of the action is this. But the idea that I'm gonna explain is almost the same that before, that we can play in the second action to play 2 against 2, to throw the distance in different places of the court to punish defense team. Another idea is open the defense in the middle and create spaces. I'm gonna show you with the video. Now they are playing with Flensburg against PCG. The idea is open the middle, okay? After the fall, we are trying to open the middle. Like you see, in the fall, everybody used to be close to the middle. You can see the second one defender, and this second one defender is close to the middle. A lot of people close to the 7 line meters. Now you can see the defense structure is more wide. Just we've put our line player between 1 and 2. Let's gonna see what Paris is gonna do. Open the defense with this right back. 1 against 1. This guy have to pay attention to Sagosen, and now we have here 3 against 2. We are opening the middle of the court and try to create advantage 3 against 2 superiority from outside. Good pass and good action. Same idea, fall, trying to open the defense just with put our line player between 1 and 2 and try to open from the other side. Mike Hansen attack a little bit between 1 and 2, and Sausen do action 1 against 1 like before, but now the right back surprise the defense and do a cross. But the idea is the same. Play from outside, from the middle to outside. He wins this space, and Mike Hansen have the solution, the right solution, scoring between 1 and 2. This is another tactical intention. Open the space in the middle to play outside. Number 4, we can start after the fall to move the central defenders and play the different situation that we have, and we have to take the right decision. I try to show you. You see?
Yeah.
Okay. You see that now number one on defense in the middle is outside. It's outside. With our movements, we open the game with Dusevayev. We play 2 against 2, and now this guy is outside, go forward, because this is a shooter like we show in the first action. Now he take the right decision and pass again to Karatic, and we have a lot of space behind him, but also they use a block to play outside. But the main idea is the first defender is outside and we take a right solution. We, the Kilche, don't allow this guy make fall to the shooter. Good decision from Kilche to Kilche. Let's see another action with the same idea. For me, Kilche is one of the best team of the world who do this second action. Then in the conclusion, I explain something about 2 against 2 after the fall. And now Dusevayev get advantage again with bound the ball wide. 2 against 2 and bound the ball wide. The ball is not close to his foot. It's so far of his foot. He throw the ball. Now you see again, the first defender is outside. Now we have here a lot of possibilities. This number 22 can move without the ball. The right wing, Dusevayev, can pass the ball to the line player. A lot of ideas that we can implement to our team when this solution appears after the fall. Again, it's not allowed push a one player, 2 minutes exclusion from this guy. But we have advantage again when we put one player like Dusevayev. His speed, he has a lot of speed against one of defender in the middle. He has not the same speed. We have one advantage. He is not used to play in this with this deep on the court. So we have advantage, and the solution is clear for us. I think it's not Dusevayev, it's Lijeski. Okay, and the last one. Idea is the most popular, is play directly from the fold. Many of us, many of the coaches, we play after the fall, we play situation like that. 1 against 1, 2 against 2. In this phase of game, the players have more freedom. More freedom. Now these guys in defense, they are not go forward because they know that this situation 2 against 2 is so dangerous. If they take one step forward, Bombard is gonna pass again with the line players. So the defense say, okay, we are gonna be close to the 6 meters line, but Bombard have enough quality to show this and take the right decision again and shoot from so far from 9 meters. Good shoot, but also good tactical idea. Like I told you before, directly 2 against 2 in the middle and trick the action and get 7 meters with this action. And the last one from Ademar Leon, 2 against 2. In the middle, one wing is inside, and again, tricked the cross, and one action to play to the right wing. And the last one, we can play the same action, but with create continuity. Like I told you, for me, this is the most important thing that I'm gonna share with you. So we play 2 against 2 after the fall. This is the main action. Second action, open the court, open the court. 1 against 1. To Makeda tried to shoot, but the defense is okay. And now they have continuity with this movement. Line player move without the ball to the right side, and Makeda go to the left side. So they get a good chance to shoot. It's not playing directly, but they play with the same ideas. Two against 2 after the fall with the wing, left wing inside. They have advantage because we have here one play, like I explained before, so tall against one small player. But they can defense with 3 players. Okay, let's gonna play the second action. Open the space to play 2 against 2. Fall again. Zagreb is a good team to defense with a lot of faults. So this action will be the third action. 2 faults. It's not passive game yet, I think. No, it's not passive. Yes, now it's passive game. And the solution is one good tactical intention from Cañellas. Cañellas don't play with the line player, attack between 2 and 3rd, and he has a lot of space to shoot because he is attacking to the space free. He's not attacking against the arms of the second defender. Continuity after the first action of fall. I am finished. So in our team, we take this, you can see, Ricardo?
Yes.
Okay. In our team, we take this report, we take the data before the game. So we know what the other team do in the second action, and we prepare like everybody prepare the main action. We prepare also what is gonna do the other team in the second action, and we work from these 5 ideas that I explained before. We have a program that we do by ourselves, and we take these ideas. Here, sorry, it's in Spain, but this is our report. We have our first main actions. Okay, this is an action that we have successful, actions without successful, and actions that we finish with fall. We call it Entre Ríos, Cruce Corto, Hacer Saltar, Arrieta. It's name of the actions. So in these two actions, we have here successful in half of our action. So that is really, really good. I'm gonna explain then in the conclusions. This is what I do, what we did in this last two sessions in Nava, also in here also we can study also the second action of the other team, what the other team do in the second action. Here we can show red circle at the place of the zone that this guy shoot, but if you see the arrow is the action that is green is he score and is red is not a score, but the arrow means the second action. So in this draw we can see what kind of actions, what kind of plays are good for this player, but also in the second action where place of the court is this guy dangerous. You can see here that this guy in the second action, he has a lot of shootings, but he only has one shoot in the second action. Maybe he is not used to do this action. Another player of the team do this action. So when we study the other team, we can take a conclusion to say, okay, this player is not dangerous in the second action. So I am talking now about the second action from the defense point of view. And my conclusion about this is, during the second action, the individual quality of the player comes out. Appears. You can see like Bombach in a moment, he has quality enough to resolve one problem. So you can implement in your trainings that in the second action of the game, our players have to show his technical quality more than other phases. Like I told you before, you can see relationship from 2-3 players, and I like to call this phase is a passive game before a passive game. What does that mean? In this second action, usually you don't play more than 5, 6, 7 pass. So it's a passive phase before the real passive game. Okay, we have to choose, like I told you before, from this is 5 points that I explained, what tactical intention is are the best for our team. Also, we can use this tactical intention from the point of our players and also from the other team, the team that the structure of the team. And two conclusions that for me was really important. In 90% of the case in this study, the team that is best in this stage win the game. What does that mean? If you are better than your opponent in this second action, you win the game. Usually, not 90%. And the other conclusion for me was really important. If you are better in this phase, you score more than 50% of your action, you always win the win. Always win the game, sorry. So this is, for me, is really important. If you in the phase of the second action after the fall, you have 10 action and you score 6, you are in this study, you're gonna win the game. And for me, it's a short conclusion, but for me, it's really important. Think about train in this in our training this phase of the game, because for me have a lot of importance. So that's it. I don't know if you have so question. Maybe I explained so clear, but I don't know.
Dani, thank you. Can I ask you to move 2 slides before this one?
Yeah,
please. Yes.
This one.
Sven, is it? Yeah, I think that's the one. 6, 7, 8, 9. Can you move to the next one again, please? So Sven just asked what's the meaning of the numbers. So inside the circles you have numbers.
Yeah, this is the number is which meters is our defender. Okay, you see 6 is our defender is in 6 meters. 7, our defender is in 7 meters. 8, okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you. There's a question that just popped up from Richard around the amount of time you spend on your sessions, mainly comparing to your first action. So if you had to give a percentage to the amount of time that you dedicate to the second action when comparing to the first action during your microcycle, what would that be?
I try to dedicate almost the same time. If you see the first draw that the main action, you can see 75% of the game, but now between passive game and the second action, you have almost 35. But the other conclusion that I told you, if you are better than the other team and you score 51% of your action in the second action, you are gonna win.
Perfect, thank you. Bobby, I'm not sure if you have any question. I have a few more, but I'll leave you to weigh in now.
No, go ahead, Ricardo.
First of all, I think the idea is great, because handball is a game where free throws and restarts are currently occurring. So it's great that you take advantage of the fact that the defense is less deep and less prepared, because they will be eventually static to try and create something. When you were analyzing your games, let's say you had, I don't know, let's imagine 20 times there's a 9-meter free throw. From on those games, on those 20 times, did the teams use the second actions every time, or did it depend on the result and moment of the game?
Of course, you can manage this. And also you can see if your second action works, because maybe doesn't work. Why? Because the referees don't. You can see some videos that I put, and Julen Aguinalde shoot with one guy here, and nobody happens. So you can see that second action is not advantage for the offense game. You try, like the first goal that you have to be, for me, is try to don't get the second action. Because you lose efficiency. So this is one point. And the other point, you have to, like a coach, you have also, you need a good middle back that showed this on the court. You need know that if the second action works or doesn't work.
Yes, of course. There's another one, and then I'll leave Bobby to input if he has any. How close were the second actions to the first ones? So when you look at the offensive model of the team, some teams use wing transition as a normal first action. Are the second actions? Did you find it to be similar to the first actions, or they are completely different and new, or a mixed situation?
I think it's almost like on the fast break. You have to to work with the same structure in all the offense game. For me, maybe another coach say the opposite. I don't know, but I would like to work with fast break, main action, second action, all passive game with the same structure, same idea, same tactical ideas, tactical intention. For me, this is the most important thing. When I play the main action, I have the same goals. I try to move the center, the defenders in the center. I have to another action for open. It's the same idea.
And I guess that answers a bit the question that Richard asked. Because if you're using similar actions in your first situations that you are in the second attack, then it makes it easier in terms of time. Because they are similar. Bobby, there's a question in the chat. I don't know if you have the time to go through it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Similar action, but with the same tactical intention.
Yeah.
So Juan San is asking, do you have, as part of your philosophy or your team, an established situation for these fouls, like a signature that could be recognized in most of the teams you work with? So do you have like these consistent themes?
Yeah. I think that the teams have his signature in this kind of action, but almost the ideas, like I told you before, are the same. We play for shoot, we play to punish, we play for open the defense, but of course, each team, each coach have his own action.
Yeah, and I suppose it also depends on the strengths of the team as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then, unless there's any more questions, guys, I just want to say a big thank you to Dani for taking the time to join us this afternoon. It's been a very, very insightful talk. I love the evidence base that you've used, the data and the statistics has been great to see, and some fantastic examples on the video. So, Dani, thank you so much for putting the effort in and speaking with us this afternoon.
Okay. You're welcome.
Dani, it was a pleasure. Very, very good. Very good. Enjoyed it a lot.
Guys, next week we have a fantastic webinar lined up for you again. We've got a cross-sport discussion on timeouts, and we've got Xavi Sabate from Wisla Plock. We've got Dr. David Piggott from Leeds Beckett University. He's a basketball coach and an academic in sport coaching. And Sean Kitson, who's a coach developer with Sport England and a futsal coach. So we're going to have a really interesting deep dive into timeouts and their effectiveness. I hope you can join us. The links will go out along with the recording of this webinar. And until then, guys, have a fantastic weekend and we'll see you soon.
Thank you all.
Thanks all. Bye-bye.